The reading is taken from St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 16, beginning at verse 21. From that time on, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and undergo great suffering at the hands of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, God forbid it, Lord. This must never happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, for you are setting your mind not on divine things, but on human things. Then Jesus told his disciples, If any want to become my followers, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit them if they gain the whole world but forfeit their life? Or what will they give in return for their life? For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. There's been a lot less traffic outside my house over the last few months. That will change this week. The pavements will be full of children walking. The roads will be chock-a-block with parents ferrying their children to school by car. Some parents are anxious about their children getting to school safely. The irony is that if parents didn't drive their children to school, there'd be a lot less traffic and it would be safer to walk. I do have some sympathy for parents. One of the hardest things is judging how much to protect our children and how much freedom to give them. If we wrap our children in cotton wool, they won't learn to assess or manage risk. If they're too fearful, they'll miss out on the fun that comes from doing something new, and they won't develop the confidence that comes from attempting and mastering a challenge. On the other hand, if we don't keep an eye on our children, they may come to serious harm. Left to their own devices, they may not learn to see the danger until it's too late. Most parents strike a reasonable balance between giving their children freedom and security. As a result, people are often brave in an unexpected moment of danger. It isn't uncommon for someone to say, I'm not a hero, when they've done something heroic. They say, I just did what anyone else would have done. I saw they were in trouble and I had to help. We may wonder whether we would have felt the same instinct. Would the adrenaline have kicked in, and would I have run into that burning building to risk my life to save somebody? I suspect that more of us would than we might think. It takes another sort of courage to know that pain and suffering are coming and not to be deterred. Sometimes we see a goal beyond the pain. When a mother holds her baby for the first time, the pain of labour isn't forgotten, but knowing that a new life has begun and all is well makes it worth it. It takes courage to prepare to die, and courage to deal with the hard choices life throws at us. Can we take the hard and difficult path because it's the right one? Or will we give in to the easy option and then try to justify it to ourselves. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus prayed to be spared the agony that he expected. He had to ask if there was some other way of accomplishing what God needed, but in his heart, he knew it was the only way. Long before this, he made the moral choices that brought him to the cross. From the moment of his baptism, he gave over his life to share what he knew about the love and the goodness of God in words and deeds. In a perfect world, everyone would have rejoiced and welcomed him with open arms. Many people did hang on his every word. He restored some to physical and mental health. Many more found comfort, peace, and spiritual renewal from his words and his presence with them. In this imperfect world, there were those who felt threatened by what he stood for, who felt that treating everyone as a precious and beloved child of God subverted the power that they were determined to keep firmly in their own grasp. "Challenge us," they said to Jesus, "and we will hurt you. We will crush you. We will destroy you." Our natural instinct is to protect those we care about. We understand why Peter didn't want Jesus to talk about suffering and being killed. Peter loved this man. He felt more alive when he was with him. He didn't want to lose him. So it stung when Jesus rounded on him and told him that he was completely wrong. Some of the force behind Jesus' words came from his own fear. When the day came, his enemies wouldn't make it quick and easy. They would make him suffer, to make an example of him, and to intimidate anyone who thought they could carry on the movement that he'd begun. The message of the cross, his enemies thought, was follow Jesus and see what will happen to you. Jesus wasn't naive. He understood the ways of the world and what happens when you challenge powerful people and institutions. Jesus was courageous. He felt the fear and still went ahead. He was clear about what we face too. Let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. The choices we make today and every day make us ready when the time comes to face what we fear and to follow through with it. Amen.